Welcome to cyberpastor.com. I'm Pastor Andre Bailey. Today we're going to be meeting the real 40-year-old virgin. All kidding aside, it's actually the 34-year-old virgin. He's a good friend of mine. His name is Chris Bogen, and his story is one that, sadly enough, is a little bit of an amazing story in today's society. And that is that he is getting married 2 days from now, and he is about to cross the finish line and keep his purity and his abstinence intact. He's getting married as a virgin. So we're going to go meet him right now, check him out, and see a little bit more about his story. Check this out. How you doing? I'm Pastor Andre Bailey, back on cyberpastor.com today with my special guest and special friend, Chris Bogen. Chris is 2 days away from getting married this Saturday, and although that isn't too amazing in itself, the amazing thing about this is that Chris is 34 years old and is the real 34 or 40-year-old virgin. All kidding aside, Chris, at a young age, made a commitment to Christ and took that commitment to Christ to a whole nother level where he decided that he was going to keep himself pure and keep himself abstinent until he was married. Made that decision long ago, and now he's 34 years old and 2 days away from crossing that finish line. So we wanted to interview Chris a second, get his thoughts, and get his feelings on getting married, and on how he felt and how hard it was to get to this point. So Chris, say hi to everybody and tell us how you feel about getting married.
Well, I'm obviously very excited about getting married, one of the biggest days of my life, and it's exciting to finally get to this point. And you know, from what you were talking about and everything, it was a long journey, and when I started out and was able to have good influences in my life with youth pastors and stuff who really was able to set me on the right track and help me to make these commitments into my life, to wait until this day to be with my wife. I probably didn't think that it was going to be when I was 34 when I started out, but I think the important thing is when you make a commitment like that, it isn't about how long you're going to have to wait. But you know, if I said I'm going to wait until I get married, I guess that means if you never get married, you're still waiting. So, you know, that's what the Lord wants out of us, and that's what the Bible commands us. And there's no clause that if it takes too long, you get to ignore the rule. And obviously, society disagrees and pushes our youth in an opposite direction, where you're ridiculed for your virginity, and that's a shameful thing, and forces a lot of people to go a different route because they don't want to put up with that.
Now, Chris, I know the Bible commands this, and I think we all know that and feel that in our heart, but the main question probably most people are going to have is, how the heck did you pull it off?
Well, I mean, if I had that answer, I'd put it in a can and sell it, but it'd probably sell real good in Christian bookstores. But you know, I guess one thing that God has blessed me with is an extra amount of self-control, and it's something that I've been able to use at different time periods when things were very difficult, and you might have felt like you were going to falter or close to faltering in those areas. That you can turn to Him, and you know, it's all about your commitment to Him. It's all about your faith, your testimony, and about fulfilling that promise with Him, because if it's for any other reason, it won't work.
Here we are on earth together, it's you and I. God has made us fall in love, it's true. I've really found someone like you. Will it say?
Finally, there's some youth out there, there's some people out there that are trying to make this commitment. They're trying to walk it out. If you could give one piece of advice to someone out there, what would it be on this subject?
The other thing that really helped me is don't overdate. I mean, dating is overrated. I know there's been all kinds of books out there about I Kiss Dating Goodbye and different things like that have a lot of good principles in them, but sometimes that might be too hard and too much for people. But to date just to date, I don't think is necessary. I think that with me, all the relationships that I've gotten in my life have been ones that I felt that had the potential for marriage, because the only reason to date and to have a girlfriend is to hope that one day it could turn into that. And if you're just in relationships for the physical or for the need to have somebody, you're just giving yourself all kinds of opportunities to mess up. And so I would say, you know, make sure that that relationship is of God. Make sure you're at a point in your life where you're dating that girl for the right reason, and that reason is to find out if this is somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Chris, great advice. We'll see you at the wedding in 2 days. We'll be there recording. We'll put some clips up. Thank you all so much for watching. See you again soon.
Thank you.
I'm here with Chris Bogen, the happy groomsman. Chris, what do you think, man? You just crossed the finish line, 34 years, and you made it. What's your first thoughts?
Every day of it was worth it to be here on this day, knowing that we could stand on that altar, knowing that we did everything we could to honor God and glorify Him, and just look forward to the rest of my life and my beautiful life.
Any advice to those out there watching right now who would say, hey man, I want that, this is something that has inspired me, I really hope to do the same thing you and your wife have done?
Just make that commitment, keep your eyes focused, and make it between you and God.